Hi everyone, and welcome to part 2 of Movie Hooker's best South Korean action movies. If you missed part 1, I should be able to put the link here on the screen if my technical abilities allow me to do that, and you can expect to see a part 3, a part 4 and a part 5 in this series. I really hope you enjoyed the video. Let me know in the comments which one is your favourite. Number 1. A Hard Day. First up is a 2014 action thriller called A Hard Day. It focuses on a crooked cop, who accidentally kills someone in a hit and run accident, but instead of reporting the fucking crime and doing the proper thing, he hides the body. He comes up with the genius idea to hide the body in his mother's coffin. Obviously, his mother just recently passed. Movie on Netflix, and also the disaster movie Tunnel. All highly recommended. Number 2. Brotherhood of War. Next up is Brotherhood of War, and this movie has remained in my top 3 war movies of all time since my first viewing back in 2005 or 2006. I then went on to sell a fucking shitload of this movie in my old job. But anyway, it focuses on two brothers who end up fighting for different sides when the Korean War breaks out. I will say the emotional impact this movie has on you, or had on me anyway. You know, I am not ashamed to admit it. This fucking movie completely destroyed me. It was devastating. And it is so well made. The action is just, for a war movie, it is just fucking brilliant. It is really high production value, and it has a bit of everything. It has a bit of drama. It will tear your soul apart. And if you don't fucking cry in this movie, if you don't cry, I'm afraid you're made of stone. Number 3. A Taxi Driver. Next up is A Taxi Driver. This is based on a true story of the 1980s Gwangju uprising. It stars my favourite South Korean actor Song Kang-ho and also Thomas Kretschmann. It follows a cab driver who is recently widowed, and he's also a single father. He gets offered a lot of money to take a German journalist from Seoul down to Gwangju and back again. But once they get into Gwangju, they end up trapped in the middle of a military coup. A lot of students have been holding demonstrations and protesting against the South Korean government, and things get really nasty, really, really fast. This is probably more of a drama movie, and even at the start there's a real comedic tone, but it gets the further it gets into the film, the darker it gets, and then at the end it leaves you like on a fucking emotional train wreck. They are so good at doing this to you, they are so good at pulling on the heartstrings and just delivering everything that a fucking movie should. So that's A Taxi Driver. Number 4. Nowhere Man. Next up is Nowhere Man. Now, this is probably the most famous South Korean action movie out there. It set the bar really, really fucking high in regards to action movies in general around the world. It follows a hitman, sort of the same storyline as Leon, only way more badass. Follows a hitman who's retired, bit of a recluse, lives by himself in this apartment. He befriends this little girl who becomes his only friend in the world. He is then forced out of retirement when the little girl gets kidnapped, and he must go after the bad guys. Now, that scene there is the most unrealistic scene in the whole movie. There's no fucking way you can give yourself a haircut with a razor blade and look, it's completely perfect around the back. That's bullshit. But apart from that, this film is just something else, and I'm pretty sure if you're watching this video, you've already seen this, and if you haven't already seen it, oh my god, you're in for such a fucking treat. So yeah, that's Nowhere Man. Thank you very much. Number 5. A Bittersweet Life. But they also feature serial killers, and I'd rather keep the serial killers so they can have their own little special place, because we love serial killer movies at Movie Hooker, and even more so, we love South Korean serial killer movies. But anyway, guys, thank you so much for listening or watching or whatever you did. And if you liked the video, please consider subscribing to the channel and hitting the little notification bell so you don't miss anything. Guys, thank you very, very much, and see you all later. Bye bye.